Kinfolks and cousins, how you doing out there? I'm doing fine, doing well, doing dandy. Cannot complain. And guess what? You're listening to your favorite radio show and your favorite podcast, none other than the Porch Perspectives. As you can see, Miss Nicki Red, she is modeling some future merchandise, as you can see. The Porch Perspectives hoodies available soon. Just stay tuned. Pay attention. We got a lot going on over here. So don't miss out on what we got going on. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We ain't got no Twitter, but one day. We ain't got no TikTok, but one day. Just
Working
follow
on
us. Yeah, do we working on it? Just follow us everywhere. Just follow us everywhere and enjoy what it is, the Porch Perspectives podcast. As I said before, my name is Eddie Kool. Happy to be here as always. And you know I can't do this by myself. I have the one, the only, the charismatic, the wonderful, the thought provoking, all that and then some. The one, the only, Miss Nicki Red. How we doing?
doing wonderful. We're doing great. We're doing amazing. We
Yeah.
we 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 vibing. We chilling. We just good spirits, good energy, good everything. It's just good. We're just good.
You see I gave you one of them good intros.
I love it. I like it. I really be liking it. I'm like, yo, intro just got to keep getting better and better. They're getting better and betterer.
That's it. They're getting better and better. You know, betterer ain't no word, but as of today,
It's a word.
betterer is a word. Shout out to everybody that's been listening to the recent episodes of the Porch Perspective podcast with our guest Lanice Mayfield.
Yes.
Um, I might be kind of biased, but I'm going to say that's was one of our favorite episodes. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of our, it was a lot of laughs, nostalgia, throwback. It was just we literally was
Informative.
yeah, informative. We were literally sitting on the porch. We got our information, we got motivated,
Yes.
we got inspired,
Yes.
and we hope you like it. Let us know. Matter of fact, if you're listening right now, do us a favor and send us an email. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, tell us what's on your mind. And Miss Nicki Red, what's the email address they can send it to?
My favorite part. Okay.
Yeah.
You can email us at porchperspectives@gmail.com, and that is spelled porchperspectives
Just make sure you save it in your notes, and that way you can copy it, paste it, and put it into the line. And let us know where you're listening from. Let us know how you feel, and just let us know. Just let us know. Also, shout out one more time to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, for having us on as always every
Yeah,
Monday,
man. Having us
11
on,
a.m.
keeping us on,
Keeping us on. Yeah, big shout out to them, man. Big shout out to them. So, Miss Nicki Red, let's go ahead and
Man,
dive into today's topic.
conversation. This conversation.
Today's
Ah,
conversations.
all right.
So, before we get started,
Mm, it's gonna be good.
before we get started, can I tell a little quick story?
Yes. We can always do a little story time on the porch.
Can I tell a story? All right, so here we go. I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty educated. I can pretty much figure things out on my own.
Hmm.
So, as a man, time to time, I just need to vent. I just need to talk to somebody just to get it off my chest, get it off my mind, which means I need to get my butt back in therapy because I just learned recently that you can't talk to everybody about everything. And people that you think you know don't know you in return. So prime example, I had some stuff going on at the other job. And I can say this here on the porch because I know ain't nobody at that job listen to this episode, this podcast. It would bother me, but it don't.
Hmm.
All our real cousins and kin folks, y'all pulling up each and every week. But I digress. So I told him about a situation about at work, whatever, and about my scheduling and everything. Well, not about my scheduling, but an event that happened a while back. It was what was it? It was about a particular type of like a gluten-free noodle.
Hmm.
The manager, who's a known micromanager, he gives off the vibe that he has to be right all the time. And when it comes to people like that, I let them have it. Hey man, it's all yours. I'm not gonna argue with you. You're the manager. You know more than I do. I've been here 11 years, but you know more than I do. Have fun with it. So this person goes on a tangent about an email, and I'm like, Why am I gonna email somebody about a noodle? That's the reaction I want. Like, why would you? And then like the best way to lose me in a conversation is when you start doing this
Oh,
and start finger wagging. I told you, I told you, I told you. I go from this, and I just as soon as I drop my shoulders and tilt their head to the left, I'm done. I'm out of the conversation because you're giving me something I didn't ask for. Unsolicited advice and what to do in the situation. Then I tell the person about my review I had. My manager says, hey, what's one thing I can do for you? Face to face, I told him, I say, hey, man, um, just make sure I'm here on Sundays. I'm the kind of person where if I need to send an email if necessary, I'll do it. But I'm
mm,
the kind of person, if there's something going on, we need to go to the office. I need to pull you to the side so you can hear what I'm saying, see see how I'm feeling. I need you to feel it. I need you to feel the raw emotion. I'm not saying I'm not going to go in the office and tear stuff up, but I need you to be in the moment and understand the importance of this conversation so that we won't have to have this conversation again. Nope, this person goes back to the email. Send them a copy of your availability every week. I do it every week. I do it every week. And once again, I go from, all right, maybe I got a moment to, that's where I can express some things what's going on. I'm dropping my shoulders again and turn my head to the left. So, needless to say, this conversation went nowhere.
mm.
And so, in a way, I was kind of stuck on the whole, you want me to email somebody about a freaking noodle. I was stuck on that.
Sorry,
I want,
you
I
keep
want to move
saying it.
past. I want to move past it, but it's like I couldn't. So I'm just over here like, you know what?
We're stuck on a noodle.
I got the phone with this person. I said, here's the deal. I appreciate you for giving me the blueprint on how to handle things and how to handle certain situations. I said, but here's the issue. You give a lot of unsolicited opinions and advice that I don't ask for, although I'm taking your blueprint and making it work for me. Second of all, I know how the people function at this company. You don't. I've told you this on multiple occasions. Why can't you be like, you know what, Ed, how about this? I've given you the blueprint. You know how to handle it, and I trust you with it. So, namely speaking, so to make a long story short, that's why some men have this hang up about being open and sharing things. Because a lot of times as men, we want to vent. We like to vent. Only thing we need, I'm going to remove my headset so you can see what I'm doing here. I just need these. You got two of them. You got one mouth and you got two ears, which means you should listen more.
Twice as hard as you talk.
Yes, because matter of fact, somebody sent me a scripture the other day. Yeah, somebody sent me a scripture the other day, and I just told this person, I said, hey, you have to like, and I'm thinking like, is this a case by case scenario? Do you do this with other people or is it just me?
Might just be you. Sorry.
Listen,
Could be.
I wouldn't be surprised
I mean,
because I've wondered this for a very long time, and I'm like, I've never asked for advice how to handle a situation, but I know how to ask for advice. Well, I can tell you're not receptive. No, because you're giving me. I'm not. No, it's kind of like two cars at an intersection,
hmm,
both blowing through the red light. What's gonna happen? Boom, they're gonna crash. Boom, they're gonna crash. Boom, they're gonna crash.
right.
Why? Because one is not receptive to the red light, and the other they're not receptive to the red light, and they keep doing this. They keep doing this. They keep doing this. If you want somebody to be receptive, I look at it like this. Sometimes to avoid that, you should be like, you know what? I'm going to ask you something. Can I tell you something? And then at the end, what do you think about it? I learn now when it comes to certain people, I have to preface the conversation. I have to give you a setup as opposed to just listening to give a thought and opinion and respond like I'm looking for advice. I am open to advice. I am not going to lie to you. But when it get to the point when your tone gets snarky and I told you this, I told you that, turn the lights off. I'm tuned out. Shoulders drop. Head goes to the left. Talk to me when you get done ranting. I'll go over here and talk to somebody that's going to listen. And that's what I do. I talk to people that listen. It's just like you, and some people are hardwired like that. But you have to understand, if you keep the finger wagging and giving unsolicited advice, you run people off.
Yeah.
You run people, and like I said, us men, a lot of us want to vent. A lot of us want to get this off of our chest. But if it shouldn't be, oh damn, if I tell them this, should I tell them this? Because if I tell them this, I know it's going to happen. It's almost like knowing what you're getting into before you get all the way into it. And then you try to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you this, this, and this, this, and this. And then here comes this onslaught and big old wave of unsolicited advice. The thing about it is, 8 times out of 10, for me speaking, I already have the situation figured out. So therefore, I don't need that advice. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just ladies and people in general, cousins and kin folks, just listen. Just listen. Because it made people feel like, okay, I'm okay, you listen to me, I feel better. And so it's just, you just have to listen. You just have to use use your ears more than you talk.
I listen.
All right, so I found it. Um James chapter 1, verse 19, New Living Testament. It says, understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna let that marinate for a moment.
Yeah, just let that cook. Let's let that cook. Let that cook.
Let it simmer.
just let it simmer. Yeah. So that's the
Love
story I
that
had
one.
to tell real quick, Miss Nikki Red. I hope I didn't take up too much of our time today.
Took up a lot of time. How dare you?
Oh, not a time. This is our podcast. We don't have to. We have our own set of rules we're here to. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We like to.
I oh, you said it. You said it. See, when I be saying stuff like that, I be getting in trouble.
That's why I gotta stop myself. That's why I gotta stop myself. Yeah, yeah,
No, no, no. You're good, dear. You're good.
yeah.
You just need a moment, and you need a listening ear. That's why I said I listen.
See, and you weren't trying to. Well, you need to do this, 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 this. I told you, I told you, I told you.
I just let you talk.
Like exactly, like I said, the moment the finger wagging starts, and that tone gets elevated in a term of momming you, shut down. I don't want to do with it. You done yet? I'm gonna ask you that. You done yet? I'm just like, well, thanks for listening. Bye. Well, that's how it is. So, all right, Miss Nikki Red.
Nice. Sweet, sweet.
Thank you for allowing me the time and the platform to just get it off my chest, if you will. So,
That's what you gotta do on the porch. Sometimes, you just walk up to the porch, and be like, "Look, hey, look, let me tell you something.
yeah, let me get something.
Let
I gotta get off
me
something.
holler at you real quick. Let me talk
Bye,
to
bye,
you real quick. All right,
bye,
bet.
bye. Be like, let me get off my mind before I put on somebody behind. Let me go ahead and do this here. All right,
That's
so,
only fair.
yep, new relationships, new beginning, the new car seat, that fresh, smell good, everything. So when it comes to relationships,
Ooh, we're talking about relationships.
you got like and you got lust, infatuation, or love. You see,
Huh?
a lot of people are real quick to say that sentence, 3 words, I love you.
Oh, okay.
I think, my personal opinion is, I think over time that I have to really, really, really do a deep dive and get to know you to say that I love you.
Well, hold on. Let's back up a little bit because
Okay,
since it
okay.
started with like and lust first.
Okay, like and lust. Okay, so
Like and lust.
okay, so difference between like and lust. Like,
Yes.
ooh, and the thing about it is that line is very thin.
No, it ain't. No, don't you do that.
It
Don't you do
is.
that. It's not. It's not.
Okay,
Definitely
explain.
not.
Let me hear.
Okay. From my perspective, all right, you got like in one hand, you got lust in the other. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You can like somebody's company. You can
Yeah.
like being
True.
around that person. You
True.
can like their personality. You
True.
could like few things about them. You could like everything about them. Just because you like it doesn't mean you're lusting for it.
That is true.
Like and lust are two different things.
That is true.
And I feel like in that aspect, it's on two different ends of the spectrum with that. When
Mm-hmm.
you're lusting for something, it's just, I guess, for lack of better words, it's that carnal desire
Mm-hmm.
to have, to be with, to experience, and all the other things that come with that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
more so just thinking with you know hormonal
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. But like I said, like people all day and all night. People like you all day and all night. But it doesn't necessarily lead to lust.
Mm-hmm.
Lust is lust is a whole different platform. Like lust is what they say on the oh, she's a baddie. I'm gonna go back. Let me see if I can because what you're doing is you're looking at basically you're looking at sex appeal and that's what you want. That's what you're yearning. That's what you want to test the waters with that. You're
Mm-hmm.
not, oh well let's, hanging out, we have a vibe, we're we chilling or whatever. And okay, you know what? You got a really dope personality. I like your personality. I like who you are. I like you as a person. I like spending time with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's where for me, that's where the difference lies at. When you have the two that get confused or intermingled and all that other stuff, and it's like to the point now where a lot of people get like and lust confused
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, okay, if I like you, that means I'm lusting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily. And
And and
yeah, I'm gonna
see,
let you have it.
yep. And
Yeah.
see, and see, like I said, that's what I mean by that it could fall. That like that lust is just. That's what I mean by it being like a real thin line.
No, it's easy to fall
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
from like to lust. It's easy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how easy do you think it is to go from lust to like?
Ooh. Ooh. From lust to like.
Because just because you lust for it doesn't mean that you necessarily like it.
Yeah.
You might lust for it and find out it ain't all it's cracked up to be.
And they up. That's what it is. Like you might be lusting so hard. You might be. Oh, I'm lusting. I'm lusting.
I
Call me.
got to have.
Call me the luster man, not the lover man, but the luster man. The next thing you know is like, you know what? Maybe I'm better where I am, and you better where you at. That's just called today.
That part. It is.
Yeah,
It's
because
I think we've all been a victim of that. Honestly, it's like if I
on
think back, if I
yes.
really think back on it, I'll be honest with it. Let's say, I guess on the porch, I could be kind of transparent and upfront with my cousins and my kinfolk. Okay,
Mm,
so my experience with like and lust, um, I was, I don't like to say weird, but I think I was a little on the weird side when I was younger
mm.
because
Awkward.
wait a minute,
Yeah,
time out, pause. You thought I was awkward in school?
we all were.
I was
Listen,
not awkward.
I know one thing about me. I was not a smooth, suave, debonair gentleman, none whatsoever.
You were cool. I liked you. See, there's
Thank
that.
you.
I
Thank you.
liked you.
I
You
think
had a
yeah.
great personality. You were so likable.
Yeah. And that's what it is with me. I have a likable. A lot of people like me. I have a likable personality. Somebody's like, Ed, you got a fan club, right? I mean, I guess so. Well, I guess I got a fan club. I'm not over here looking like, hey guys, who wants to be a part of the Eddie Cool fan club? I'm the private. I'm not doing all that. It's just I am who I am, and I do what I do. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. But as a kid, I was just, one of those kids that growing up, I guess in the dating scene when I started, dating. um, I don't think. Ugh. Let's go way back. Let's go way back. This is gonna be fun.
Okay.
My first real relationship, aka my first boyfriend,
Mm.
was absolute comedy.
Uh,
I was in the ninth grade, and I'll never forget. And again, we're not name dropping, but we're just,
Mm-hmm.
correlating these stories to what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the ninth grade, and I'll never forget. I don't even remember how I met this dude. I really don't. I think it was weird. So, okay, my ninth grade year was really weird for me because I literally would walk up on like walk into people like in passing, and they stop me and be like, "Oh my god!" Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember my this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna go on the radio. I'm not again. We're not name dropping, but I remember my
Mm-hmm.
first second kiss when I
Okay.
was in high school. And it was weird because it just happened. It wasn't anything where it's like mind you, I knew this individual
Mm-hmm.
because all the girls were crazy about him. And I was just like, y'all are tripping. Like, he ain't even think about y'all. Whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I
Yeah.
digress.
Yeah.
I think I had just finished, like, we had track practice this particular day, and I was, running track or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was either on my way to the field or on my way from the field. I don't know, but I
Mm-hmm.
know I was walking through the gym and I saw him and I'm like, okay, he was on the, kind of on the track team too, I think. I don't remember. But
Mm-hmm.
I know we were like literally I was going in and he was going out, one of the two. But we were
Right.
crossing paths, and as we crossed paths, we literally walked right up to each other, kissed each other, and kept walking. And I'm just like, that's got to be the
Oh
weirdest
wow.
experience of my life. I don't
Wow.
even know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. It just happened. We kissed and it kept it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was weird for me because of who he was. I was like, oh my God. I don't think I ever told anybody about it.
Oh
But
wow.
it happened. And I was just like, that was cute, ninth grade. That was cute, but okay, whatever. But my first actual like relationship was I met him through a friend actually.
Mm-hmm.
We started kicking it, whatever, whatever. And we would just it was a vibe. It wasn't anything where, we weren't, active or anything like that. We vibed together. We had lunches together. We
Mm-hmm.
always he would be late to class to walk me to my classes. So I was like, okay, cool. And at that time, I'll be honest with you, I went to Hope County High School, and at that time, that's the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my freshman year. And that campus, going from middle school to high school, this was a huge campus. Like they had two gyms, maybe three.
Mm-hmm.
They had three cafeterias. But I
Mm-hmm.
remember the first one, the second one, and then the new one that they built. It was too big. The campus itself was way too big for my ninth grade mind. So it was just like, okay, it's too much.
Yeah.
But me being a freshman, he was a junior at the time, and we just vibed together. Like I talked to him as much as I could. He would come to the neighborhood and come hang out with me, and just different little, little young relationship stuff that we did, safe
Mm-hmm.
relationships that we did.
Yeah.
But when it came to the like part, I I liked him. Don't get me wrong, I did like him. But when it came to the lust side of things, I don't think I really lusted too much behind at that time in my life. I don't think I did.
Mm-hmm.
I might have, but it's been so long ago. It's only been like 2 years since then, but since I graduated.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Nah, but go ahead. You good? I'm
Look,
messing
hey,
with you.
look, I'm just, I'm out there. It hasn't been 2 years since I graduated, but ain't
I
been.
know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But it's just thinking back on it. I've liked people in my growing up, like
Mm-hmm.
people, but the lust part of it, I don't think I really lusted after anybody until I got older, and I realized that it's just lust. I don't care about this person. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to. I don't want. And from a woman's standpoint, from a woman's perspective, it's like kind of taboo in a sense. At least in my mind, it was taboo because it wasn't every day that women admitted that. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a relationship. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want none of that. I'm lusting for you look good and I'm lusting,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's, not the best thing to do, but that's just something that I feel like is kind of taboo for women in that sense. But yeah, I experienced it growing up, it happened.
I look at it like this. It's natural. It's a natural reaction of it's the natural reaction of attraction. And there's
Mm-hmm.
levels to like attraction. Like for example, like I might be attracted to some, you could be attracted to somebody on a spiritual level. You could be attracted to somebody on a intellectual level.
Yes.
Then there's always the physical.
Yes.
And then there's there's certain things like some and the thing about it is we can't help who we attract. We're just here. We're just existing. We're here. And we can't help who we attract. It's like I remember one time this, like I used to be like, okay, she give me her number. Like I used to ask her like real quick, like, what is it about me that you like?
Go ahead.
I was asking, like, what is it about me that you've taken the time to really sit down and have a conversation with me, to talk to me, to try to get me what is it about me that you find,
Attractive.
attractive? Just like, when I was out in when I was on them dating sites, boy, I'd be like, you know what? It's the dreads and it's the locks number one, it's the this, the that, it's the I'm like, okay, it's just I'm like as we go, physical, got it. I saw something in your bio. Da, 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 da. Okay, you saw something in your bio. Matter of fact, there was one of your ladies say, the fact that you were able to change careers at your age, and she said, I find that very, very brave. And she used another word. I'm like, okay, cool. So it's just knowing that, yeah, attractive, but to what level? You know what I'm saying? Like what is it about me that you want to get a little bit close to me and want to know me a little bit more? I'm curious.
Pose that question to
Mm,
people before. And the funniest thing is it all depends on who you ask.
yeah.
I have learned that in my years
Mm-hmm.
because when I was younger, don't get me wrong. Okay. And this is not to sound conceited in any way, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
I know I'm an attractive young lady.
Yeah.
I understand it. I get it. I did not understand, again, when we talk about like and lust,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand, like, as far as, especially like I said, teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
majority of them are lusting.
They don't know they
This
like. They
time
don't
of
know they
night,
like.
no, half the time they don't know what they like
Yeah.
because, especially now, especially with the way technology and everything else is set up,
It's wild.
it's. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but it's
You,
it's one of those things.
you remember back in the day, we actually had to find something. We had to look. It wasn't as accessible. We actually had to talk to somebody. Matter of fact, um,
Uh oh.
keep talking because I just
Okay.
I heard a conversation a while back and keep talking. I'm gonna share some stats with you real quick. Just keep talking, keep talking.
So I posed that question. What do you like about me? What attracts you to me? And I've heard so many different things. I was just like, hmm. But I think for me as a woman, I sometimes I do inquire. Like I would want to know, like, what
Mm-hmm.
makes you as another person
Mm-hmm.
attract to what makes you attracted to that person that you're attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told from personality, smile,
Mm-hmm.
your eyes are beautiful. Um, you're just so cool. You're so down to earth. And I'm just like, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what else?
Yeah.
And also, I think it also depends on how long you've known said people
Mm-hmm.
and to what extent you know that person. So I've dealt with, let me see. Okay, this is another real quick story time.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Georgia, I lived in Savannah, Georgia for a little while with my mom, and I
Mm-hmm.
worked at Walmart. And while working there, I met some really cool people, some interesting people down there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take it back just a touch. I remember having a conversation with my dad about, you have a type. What type of person do you see what, like, if you can build your own person that's
Mm-hmm.
for you, what would they look like? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know why, but I always had this thing. for a light-skinned guy with funny colored eyes and
Mm-hmm.
long, pretty hair with the curly hair. And he's got to be built and he's got to be this and he's got to be that. And the crazy part about it is ain't none of my baby daddies look like nothing. Nothing
No,
like
yeah,
none of.
that
I ain't
type.
married
Yeah.
nobody that I ain't married my type. I never had kids by my type. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it was just an ideal, idea, I guess, of the type of person that I feel like I would be attracted to. Now,
Mm-hmm.
fast forward to Walmart. Here's a funny story. This is like oh 06. It's had to be oh 06 because my son was a few months old. So I'm working at Walmart. Everything's going great. And of course, for some reason, every time I go to a new work environment or any environment, I always get stares and guys try to talk to me. Oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's fine, whatever. But there was this one guy in particular. I do not even if I wanted to drop his name, I couldn't because I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
But he worked with me and he just worked like I worked on the front. I don't even remember if he worked in a different department, if he worked, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember this guy, he was the polar opposite of what I said I liked
Oh
as a kid.
wow.
He was dark, dark. He was, I mean, I think if I can remember right, he had a decent, like, he was kind of taller than me. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he had hair, long hair, like if he had braids back then. And I don't remember none of this. All I remember was the guy he was dark skinned with a cross tattoo on his eye. He had a
Mm-hmm.
cross. And I thought it was so dope that it was a cross because, back then, most people, they got teardrops and all that stuff. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
eh. But this dude had a cross. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, for you to be so dark, I could see that tattoo in your face, but I like it. I mean, it was cute. We spoke on a few occasions. I knew he was attracted, but it never went that far. So it was just like, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
cool, but then I left. So
Yeah.
it was just like I said, our initial what we feel like we want, and especially how it changes from teenagers to young adult to middle-aged adult to
Mm-hmm.
it's funny how your likes and interests change over time because like I said, that light skin mentality that I had, he's got to be
Yeah.
light skinned, he's got to be tall, he's got to be this, he's got to be that. I dated one of them, one person that almost fit that whole description.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, and it was just like, you're a man at the end of the day, you're still a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not that there's no shots at men. I swear it's no shots at men, but I've always told, like I say, for instance, I used to tell my son's dad all the time,
Mm-hmm.
my oldest son's dad. When we went through our separation, our breakup, or whatever, I told him at the end of the day, you're a grown man. You're going to do what you want to do, regardless of how I feel, what I say, what I think, whatever I say, it does not matter. You're
Mm-hmm.
grown, you're a man, you're going to do what you want to do, regardless. If you want to listen to what I say, if you want to do those things, it's going to be based off of what you want, not off of what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're your own person. I can't make you do what I want you to do.
All right. All right. So that little piece of article I just found it. I found it what's it called? Poverty on Instagram. And I've been seeing this. I'm glad we're on the porch. I really want to talk about this. All right. So it says almost 50% of men aged 18 to 25 have never asked a woman out in person. All right. So a study by Date Psychology found that 45% of men aged 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in person for a date. This trend is attributed to increased risk aversion among younger men, with many fearing rejection or social consequences. While 74% of women aged 25 and below express a desire to be approached more often. So I look at it
I
like
say, wait,
this.
let me know let me know when it's my turn to talk because I got
Okay.
something to say.
I look at it like this. Technology, in a way, has kind of diminished physical interaction and actual physical social skills.
Absolutely.
Because nowadays, like for example, dating apps, you can set up a whole date on a dating app.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can talk back and forth. You can set up on a whole date on a dating app. But I would recommend you talk to this person and get to know this person, have a conversation and that way you can know, you kind of read the room, kind of feel the vibe, and feel what's going on.
Right.
Risk aversion, fear of social. I mean, and that goes back to that piggybacks off of the type. Like, oh, I got a type. She got to be this, she got to be that, she got to be this, she got to be that. Let me tell you something. You know what my type was and is and always will be. I like who like me.
You know what? I can't even say that because I don't. I can't.
Well,
Can't. I think it's just me personally, and
mm,
this is just to be honest with you. So, and again, it's not to sound cocky, conceited, or none of the above, but
yeah,
I have this is where I also kind of bring into the conversation piece
mm,
standards.
yeah.
I have standards.
As you should, as anybody should. Hmm.
You and I mean, if you're physically attracted, you see an attractive woman, and you like, I'll be honest with you. In Vegas, I got approached all the time, and it
Ooh,
didn't matter what was going on or what that man had going on. Go women out there, they don't care.
ooh,
They
I know it.
zero,
Ooh, I know they was
zero.
out there too. I know they was. Anyways, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
tell you, and I would some of them I would like, okay, look, before me and my wife got married, I'm like, got a whole girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I like that.
And that's
I,
the thing. Why is it
don't be
always?
disrespectful.
And that's the other thing. Why is it when you ain't got nobody, don't nobody want nothing to do with you? The moment you get involved, hey big head, hey what's up? Ooh, hey how you doing? I see you over there.
That's funny. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know. I think the something aligns in the atmosphere, and it just says, "Hey, you know what? You're not taking. You're taking. Let's test the strength and the durability of your relationship. Let's test to see
How
how they
strong this union really is.
let's see how yeah. Because honestly, it's been hmm. So yeah, sticking on the topic that we
Hey.
talked about, I could tell you some stories now. But I mean, I've been approached by men of different caliber of men that have literally like, oh well, what's up? I don't mean to be rude, but I'm trying to see what's up with you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I used to tell people that when I worked my last job, um, I had people that would approach me and be like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're so funny, you're so this, you're
Mhm,
so that," and I'm just like, "Listen, sweetheart, let me break it down for you real quick."
yeah.
For any of the men, because as we were talking about just a minute ago, I just feel the need to say this. For any of the men that have found their way to my DM, I just want to say this. Number one, I'm not single. Number two, I come with bills, back problems, and grown kids.
You sure this what you want?
Uh, and my no, I don't want to set yourself up for failure. And it's funny because it's not just it's the type of men and the audacity for some of them. It just kills me because even when I was at work, I've never understood the thought process of going to the grocery store to play hookup. I didn't even think that was a thing until I was like, wait a minute, what?
Mhm.
Y'all are really going to the grocery store to find your boo thing or your moment? I don't know, but I've never gone to the grocery store with a
Mm-mm.
pickup line in mind.
Mm-mm.
I've never done it. But
Mm-mm.
it's happened to me. I've had guys that I literally because I was in charge of helping with the hiring process, so I would hire
Mm-mm.
on board. So the funny thing is, when I hire these people, I know how much money you're making. That's number one.
Yeah.
I had this one guy tell me, "I'm gonna get you." I said, "And what makes you think that?" I said, "What makes you so positive and so sure about that?" First of
Yeah.
all, I told you I'm married. I'm married
Mhm.
to a woman nonetheless. And you have the audacity to come and tell me that I'm gonna get with you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get you.
How, player?
And
How?
I said, look, I had to break it down to him real smooth and real quick. Like I said, listen, sweetheart, even if I was single, let's just take take that equation off the situation.
Mhm.
Even if I was single, I have bills. I have kids that are not babies.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much you make. That ain't helping me. And then keep in mind, we're a neighborhood grocery store. So everybody, I see you guys come in here on your days off. I see
Yeah.
what you're buying. Sweetheart, you're buying diapers and wipes. I don't have little babies.
Yeah.
What makes you think on God's green earth that you have a snowball's chance with me
Mm-hmm.
and you got little babies at home? I don't do baby mama drama, and I'm not gonna do baby mama drama. I don't do nobody's drama, but
I'm just,
definitely not baby mama drama. First of all, sweetheart, if that's what if you want to fight over that man that you got kids about, by all means, fight over.
mm-hmm.
Fight by yourself, because I ain't about to fight with you. I don't
Hey,
care.
oh, hey, you know what? What we ain't doing in 2025? We
I
ain't.
ain't arguing with nobody.
We
I ain't.
ain't.
Hold on, stop. I ain't arguing. I ain't chasing, and I ain't coddling nobody's feelings.
And we ain't fighting.
So that's what the argument came from: arguing or fighting.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. I'm trying to just add on to
I
that.
know, but I can't really say that because I mean, if the temperature is
Ah,
right, I'm getting in the water.
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
If the
I
temperature's
just try to
right, I'm
keep
getting
my.
in the water. I just can't say that I'm not gonna do something that I can't tell you that I'm not.
Mm.
Because, can't don't don't condone violence, but I'm a very firm believer in defending yourself. That's
So,
all I'm saying.
yep. So establishing, so we're gonna go to the next part of this here. So I mean, you just have to.
We can't skip infatuation and love.
No, no. So I'm a. Oh, so, okay. So infatuation
Eh,
and love.
just
So
slide down there.
my bad, my bad. So infatuation and love. Like, how do you know when you just infatuated with somebody or you really love somebody? You know what I'm saying?
I have an idea. This is what I've been using because I know there's certain like I'm not even gonna. Okay, yes, I am gonna say it. So there are certain things that I just won't do, and it's just like a zero tolerance for it.
Mm.
And that thing, thanks to my father, was feet. I am not a foot person. I don't do feet. I don't want to look at them.
Mm-mm.
Don't put your feet on me. Nothing with. I don't do feet. Period. If by a rare occurrence I look at your feet and your feet are passable on the lookage, okay. If I touch your feet, if I rub your feet, that for me is how I know it's not infatuation, is love because I don't touch any of your feet. Don't do it. If I touch your feet, it's love.
Oh wow.
And that's sock on or sock off. If I touch your feet with or without a sock, it's love.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that's how I know love and infatuation. But for the most part, infatuation is just I would think it's that mindset of basically fangirling. You don't know nothing about that person, but you just, oh my God, everything about them is amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you really
Yeah.
don't know them. You don't
Yeah.
know their irks. You don't know what gets on their nerves. You don't know if they get on your nerves. You don't know if they snore in their sleep. You
Mm.
don't know if they pick boogers. You don't know. You don't know this stuff. But based off of general appearance,
Yeah.
you're crazy about it. Or here's another thing I found out too. A lot of talented people that can sing, people that can paint, people that do certain, like I said, certain talents. That can create infatuation in others as well. I didn't know this until I don't know how long ago it was, but I found this out. So if you are a music lover, you like music, you like melodies, you like singing, and somebody has a beautiful voice to you,
Mm.
that can create infatuation with that person. If
Can I
you
take?
love, yeah,
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say if you love art
Mm.
and you find somebody that can paint these masterpieces that, oh my goodness, the way that the brush strokes and the colors blend and the
Mm-hmm.
shading and the variants and the gradients and they know what they're doing and it comes out beautiful. Now you're infatuated with this person. Go
Right.
ahead.
Can I tell you a story?
Yes.
My dear old teacher is no longer here with us, Mr. William Lynn Myrick. He told us, he said, now, fellas, I'm going to tell you something. If you can play an instrument, you got any talent or skill, you'll never have a problem attracting women. And I'm thinking like, all right, I guess.
Okay, you found out, huh?
I sure did. I sure did. I forgot what I was doing, but I sure did. I was on stage singing karaoke, and somebody's mama was just crazy, just ooh Eddie, ooh Eddie. She was
No way.
just, yeah, she was in my face. I mean, I singing karaoke, so I want to sit on the stage. Honey, what you doing here, man? This is a one man show. Anybody come to see you? Otisha, move, get out the way. But yeah, yeah, that's that. And also, piggybacking off our previous discussion about guys I ask women for dates. Let me tell you, can I share a story?
Yes, let's share.
Okay. So probably about September or October, I got off work. I went to a local watering hole because it was one of those days, one of those nights, right?
Why you call it a watering hole? But go ahead.
Yeah. Went to a bar, right? You know, have my old fashioned. Just water tonight. Just be drinking water tonight. Um,
I'm drinking water as well.
you know, so I can get an old fashioned. And this story is so funny. So I walk into the bar. It's a U-shaped bar, right? So I sit on the corner and it's by a column. Um, I see three of my lady coworkers down there. Three of them. I'm not gonna say their names, but I see three of them. I'm in, tired, not feeling my best. I'm just wore the hell out, right? So this dude sits at the corner of the bar, and I'm like, man, why is you sitting over here? Like, why is you sitting over here? I'm like, man, come on, why are you sitting over here? While all this was going on, there was someone sitting beside me. I'm looking at TV. I'm kind of a side-nice dude. I'm like, why are you? Let me tell you something. If you ever go into the bar, at least sit 2 or 3 seats down for somebody. Don't be up. That's about worse as like men. That's about worse as men going to the bathroom using the urinal. You
Right
see
next to somebody that's already
all them
using it.
free urinals. You want to walk beside somebody and use the bath. Go in the stall. Leave me alone. But anyways, I digress. So I'm like, man, come on, man. So I'm kind of sitting there chilling, whatever. And I'm like, so I had another drink. The dude, he just still sitting there, can't catch a hint. Like, you should move, bruh. So what happened was someone was sitting beside me, and it was a woman. I said, hey. I said, what you eating? She said, oh, I'm drinking such and such. I'm like, I didn't ask you about your drink. But I said, but since I got your conversation, what's your name? Da 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 da. And I was able to talk to her. I was able to have a full-fledged conversation, right?
Mhm.
And so what happened was the conversation got so good to the point we shared IG information. So she gave me a phone. She said, put your IG information in. I said, oh, okay, sure, no problem. And then something said, Ed, look up. Them three lady co-workers was looking at me like, oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. Back then it didn't want me. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I don't even deal with coworkers like that. That's a slippery slope. So, anyways,
It is, and I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So
I
as
think about it. Wait a minute.
yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I ain't never.
yeah. So they kind of sitting like, okay, what he doing? Like, oh, and I see one of them go, girl, he got her phone. He put in something, and they looking
Trying to
hard.
figure it out.
So the whole time I'm kind of like, so we keep talking everything, da 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 da. So that was Saturday. Tuesday comes, I'm at work. One of my coworkers asked me, she said, what's up with you and that chick that you was talking to at the bar the other night? I was like, what chick? She's like, you know who I'm talking about. I was like, oh, we just exchanged IG information. We just talking, that's all. She's like, okay, Eddie. She's like, all right, I see you. Looking me up and down. I'm like, all right, Eddie, I see you out there. You got that Riz. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got that Riz. Oh, shoot, your boy got that Riz. That's charisma. I said, oh, your boy got that Riz. And it's just, and then I told my manager, I said, he looked at me, I said, I knew the question was going to come sooner or later. But I say that to say, like, it ain't really that hard to talk to anybody
Mm.
because she could have easily told me to get the hell on. And going back to the whole infatuation thing, about, oh, this is what he doing? I wonder what he said to her. He must be spitting good game. I bet Eddie got good conversation. See them gears of
Yeah,
wonderment
they
start
get to
clicking.
moving and moving and
They,
yeah.
they start to clicking. And sometimes, like back to infatuation or love, sometimes people be just like you said, infatuated off what they visually see. And like I told my mentor, I said, hey man, that ain't nothing, but they saw me in action. They want to know what's going on. They saw me in action.
I can say infatuation with certain things, when like I said, between infatuation and love, you
Mm.
gotta be careful because infatuation will have you in what they call the Lulu land. Okay.
Doo-doo-doo.
Yes, where you start making up these episodes and making up these things in your mind, saying,
Mm.
"Hey, this is what it is," and that's not really what it is. But
Mm.
yeah, it happens. But when it comes to infatuation, you just gotta be, just be aware,
Yeah.
and really start that, to avoid things of that nature. Like for those of our listeners out there that are, in this dating scene and whatever
Mm.
else, I will say this, and I mean, you don't have to take my advice. You don't have to take anything that I say. I don't
You
care.
ain't got to.
Really don't care. But I will say,
Go ahead. You funny.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not sorry.
I'm gonna
But
get this advice, but I don't care if you take it or not.
if you take it, you take it. If you take it, you take it. If not, you don't. Okay. I mean, what am I gonna do?
Mm.
I'm really not gonna do anything. I really don't know whether you took it or not.
Anyways, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So, just word to the wise. When it comes to the dating scene, like take time to get to know people
Hmm.
because as it's been told to me numerous of times, even with the dating scene, everything looks, oh, it's beautiful, it's peaches, it's great, it's this, that, and
Hmm.
the other in the beginning. And a lot of times that's where, other folks gonna come in at those rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
If I want you to see me in a certain light, then I know what to do to get you to see me in that certain light.
That representative.
There it is.
Representative.
Get to know your representatives.
Yeah,
Get to
representatives.
know them because at the end of the day, I mean, it's not saying that people are like this on purpose, particularly, but at this point, I think there's a lot of trauma going on in the world.
Unhealed at that. Oh my God.
And that trauma can lead people to pick up not unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy
Hmm.
ways that
Bad
affect other
habits.
people in a very negative way.
Hmm.
So when you're, let's just say, for instance, boy sees girl,
Hmm.
boy likes what he sees.
Hmm.
Girl don't know. Boy keeps hitting and hitting and hitting. Finally, boy has the courage to approach girl and say, "Hey, what's good? What's going on with you?"
Yeah.
Girl's like, "Oh, I'm not interested. This, that, the other. Da, 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 da. I appreciate it. I'm good." Boy continues to pursue, and that's another thing I want to get figured out.
Hmm.
Boy continues to pursue. Girl says, "You know what? I might have this going on, but let me hear what you got to say." I don't know.
Hmm.
You might be talking something decent. I don't know. Boy pursues and pursues and pursues and pursues, and I mean, gets the prize.
Hmm.
I don't understand purpose, and maybe it's a game for people. I don't know. But if you, as a man, approach and pursue and do the things that you obviously were wanted, something I don't know, that
Hmm.
you needed to do to get what you needed to get.
Yeah.
Why go through that? Why go through that facade of, oh, I'm this type of person, oh, I'm here, I'm this, that, da, 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 just to turn around and be your true self? Like, why go through the faking and the flawed? Why go through the fraudulent? I
Yeah.
don't understand that. Be you.
It's the classic case of I can't pull you in like this. But if I take this and turn this that way, turn this up, turn that knob, and turn this knob to the left, I'm gonna use that to pull you.
But that's manipulation.
It is in a way. Well, not in a
It's
way, but
in every way.
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It's not you manipulate it. It's not genuine, and that's why I said when it comes to relationships now, I ain't gonna lie. If ever I was, I could not, I would not be in date who, not me.
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
dating nobody. You got me. I ain't dating. First of all, it's too complicated. The waters is murky, and I ain't got the time to be. I don't have. No, I ain't dating. I ain't doing. I don't want to meet anybody new. I don't want to get to know nobody. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to be. I
Yeah.
don't want
That's
to be left alone.
that's a whole process. And so, and look, and the thing about it is like,
It is. And then you gotta pick and choose and sort through the BS and are you genuine or are you not? And I'm just too much of a genuine person to just be like, let me try to figure this. I'm not here to figure nothing out. And
mm-mm,
that's the thing I think with people too. I've been told this also. A lot of times that manipulation tactic that guys what might use on a female,
mm,
and it's like I said, I can't speak for every woman. I just know how I am. And
mm-hmm,
I've been like this as a coming up, growing up. Like I was so like straightforward. Like, when you talking about the article that says most guys don't approach women,
mm-hmm.
in high school, I was approaching men. I was like, "Hey, bro, hey, you're cute. What's up? Hey,
And
what?
ladies, and ladies,
Oh
guess
my
what?
god!"
And ladies, guess what? Men like being approached too.
I didn't have a problem with it. I would approach. Oh God, I was so terrible with it. And I think I have to thank my dad for that because I was
Uh,
always taught that if you see something that you want, if you want it bad enough, you go for it. That's
That's
what I
it.
was always taught.
That's it.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna wait for you to
Matter of
see
fact,
me to
I'm a
be attracted to me.
yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you a question. Why do you think women don't pursue men?
I really feel like, and again, I've not talked to too many women like that, but I really feel like they are looking for that traditional courting vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know a lot of women too that actually do pursue men.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just like I said, it's just one of those things where it just depends on who you're asking.
Right.
Um, like I said, I know like a lot of the women that I know will approach a man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the women that I also know won't approach a man. It's just like some of them are like, I'm not even thinking about a relationship right now. So when men see me, they're gonna always try to holler and try to get at me. But I'm so tunnel vision on what I'm doing that I could care less. But then
Mm-hmm.
you have some of them that would be open to a relationship, but they're just like, I just when they say I haven't found the right one, it's just I'm not looking for him, or I keep being approached by the men that just lust for me.
Yeah.
I don't get approached by men who genuinely want to get to know me or want to have those conversations or can have a disagreement without going zero to jail real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many different layers to uncover with that. But I know me as a woman, and this is like I said, growing up until even to now, like, and all the reality, like me and my wife had this conversation. Like I approached her, she didn't approach me. I went for her.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest and say I approached her, but I've always been one to not really bite my tongue on that. Like
Right.
when I met my son's dad, my first son, his dad, we were good friends,
Mm-hmm.
and he initiated liking me,
Mm-hmm.
and that was that situation. When I moved to Georgia, I really wasn't in the dating scene like that. I was just pretty much just working, taking care of my kids, hang out, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But
Taking care of business. Yeah.
that was it. But I did get the opportunity to meet a few people, and some people I kicked it with, and some people it was like, you won't see this on here, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a situation. I had to do my thing and keep it pushing. But it wasn't something where it was just like, and that's another thing too. I'll be honest with you, and like I said, I'll be transparent and just say it.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to actual like foundations for an actual relationship, there's a lot that comes with that.
Whole
And
lot.
when you look at, the like side of things, that will generally be the foundation for a decent relationship. But
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the lust side of things, that ain't that's a one night stand, sweetheart.
Or or a situation like, oh, hey, look, we
Hey, you
meeting
only
up. We meeting up, and we doing this, and this. I'm not staying tonight. I'm not bringing
we
you no
ain't
dinner.
you ain't staying the night, you ain't sitting in the morning.
Yeah.
Like we literally that's where that sneaky link come in at because it's based off of lust. It's just based off of my physical attraction to you. That's it.
And
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 I've
that's
had
me and that's you get hit with that. So what you about to do?
Oh no, it wasn't even that. Listen, back then, way back then.
back then.
If
So
it was a situation like that, it
mm,
was just one of those things where it's like, okay, we're consenting adults,
mm,
and that's what it was. Like I like I don't even I could swear to you, I could not tell you where I met this man at. I think it was at the mall in
mm,
Georgia. And we exchanged numbers and we just, we like it was it was a lot of attraction, physical attraction on at first sight. A lot of physical
mm,
attraction there. He was handsome. He thought I was fine, whatever, whatever. And it was just one of those things where we just hooked up. That was it.
mm, mm.
It wasn't, oh, you come to our house, you meet my kids, you do that. No,
Oh no. Oh no.
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 Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm in that zone,
Mm,
yeah, you're going to meet my family. But if that's not, we're not there.
mm.
And even with that, now here's a question for you.
All right.
So you get a girl. You guys have a situationship. You guys are basically, I'm not gonna call it a sneaky link, but y'all are,
Mm.
y'all do y'all thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What changes for a man to make the situationship go from a situationship to where you want more?
The moment you start catching feelings
But what are you catching feelings for somebody that you were in
and
lust with?
she mutually kind of sort of catch those and she mutually catch those feelings too,
Mhm.
and y'all being on the same pattern, because a lot of times in situationships somebody there's generally there's an understanding, look, this is what it is and that's that. But generally sometimes it almost probably about 85% of the time one always wind up falling for the other.
Mm.
It
See, I've never done like situationships like that before.
mm,
I've always been where somebody's attracted to me to that point where I have to like, look, bro, listen,
yeah.
we're not, we could never, like, I could never take you serious.
Mm,
I've, I hate to say it, like, and it's like I said, it's not something that just when it comes to getting to know people on that level, it's like you know what you want for yourself, you know what you have in mind, you know what
mm,
your plans, your goals are, and
mm-hmm.
some people just don't fit that mold for you.
They
It's
don't.
like I've had situations where this guy karaoke, Lord Jesus, it used to be so much fun. And you every time we came in the building, this dude was spending money, caking.
Yeah.
But he wanted me, and I was like, bros, no,
No, like what we doing?
like me. Do not, please don't like me. Please,
Yeah.
whatsoever you do not like me. Because I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to you. There's nothing that I literally would, if it wasn't for the fact that you stopped me, there is nothing in this conversation that would have made me stop and speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally what do they call it, NPC, a non-primary character or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
I
you're
got
one of those people. You're like one of those people. Like you're not somebody that caught my eye or somebody that was like, dang, I'm intrigued.
you. Mm,
And when it comes to my like stuff like that, you have to come with more than just you look good for me.
yeah. Yeah.
And I've always like you forgot if you cannot stimulate my brain, you have to have some form of a conversation where I feel like you're an intellectual. You have to be on
S-
an intellectual level with me because
And
I like
and
to
we c-
talk,
go ahead.
I like to listen, I
Mm.
like to learn. So
And we call that substance.
I don't want to talk to
Substance.
you all day about what you did on the block. I don't really care. Like that ain't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
But
that's what
that's
make
what I want to know.
yeah.
'Cause
And
I just
oh, go ahead.
I just want to know because, like I said, from a woman's perspective, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just did not understand why it would go from level one to a whole different like.
Cause
If
somebody done
you
caught
just do what
feelings.
this, so okay, but that's the thing too.
Cause somebody done caught feelings. That's how it goes from one point to another. Like, okay, it starts off generally in these situationships, sneaky link circumstances. Go a little something like this. You don't want nothing, I don't want nothing.
No,
But there's
this is
something
what.
I want, and there's something you want. So if we can agree to satisfy this need without strings attached, then it is what it is. we're gonna keep, service level playing. But then, like I said, it get to the point to where either this one falls for this one, or this one is falling for this one, but this one ain't falling for this one. It's either, oh, okay, or, well, you knew what this was from the jump, and then you got to find yourself re-explaining yourself about what this is or what this was.
Tell them you knew what it was when you signed up.
Yeah, you know what it was when you signed up, and then it's, I'm saying, it's a classic case of, damn, man, oh, now I got to deal with this, and I done caught these feelings, and I like this person, and I really, really do, and da 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 da. And meanwhile, I was like, look, you're one of many in the Rolodex.
See, that's the thing too. That's another thing too. Let's talk about that. So
Mm-hmm.
when those feelings get caught, and this is why I said this is where I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't even want to say I separate from others, but
Mm-hmm.
we have a thing going on, and I'm like this. If you tell me it's A, B, and C, then it's A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else around it. It's just A, it's just B, it's just C. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. So if in the event, okay, you caught feelings. I guess it's one of those situations where you're trying to kind of like avoid catching feelings or try not to catch feelings or separate yourself from the situation so you don't catch feelings. Stuff fine and dandy. But I feel like, sometimes honesty is just like, just be straight up. And I think a lot of people have an issue with being straight up about certain things because I don't know how you're going to take it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, prime example. And I'm just have to put myself in that single pocket for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
If I were approached by a guy and it was literally just on a physical attraction, nothing more. He don't want to get to know me. He don't want to get to know nothing about me. We don't want to have no conversations and all this and all that, whatever. I could respect you telling me it's just a physical attraction than I could you going through the motions of getting to know me, having the conversations, you know, going out here and there, doing like
Mm-hmm.
spending time together. Like you do all that just to get to the physical aspect and then pull back. This is why I said I could not date in this time, and I couldn't date because first of all, let me just say,
It's weird in these streets.
I ain't got time because I ain't got time. I
Yeah.
don't have time. And then, like I said, it's the communication for me. Like it's, for example, let's say if that okay, let's just fast forward. Say, hypothetically speaking, this happens, right? If it got to that point where you're spending this time to get to know somebody, you get physical, and then you pull back. Did you say something? What's the dialogue?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
but how do you? Okay, man, that's why I said. I guess that's why I said at this point I ain't got time because now they're getting into the level of ghosting. I feel like that has got to be the stupidest concept ever. It's got to be the dumbest concept. You mean to tell me you get to this point with somebody? Now, I can't say like there's certain things I'd be like, okay, yeah, I could get that. Like if we're just texting and I just said, you know what, this conversation is going nowhere, I'm done. Okay, that's fine. You're just texting. But there's like when it comes to actually getting to know somebody and you guys like are talking, you're seeing each other, whatever, 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 and you just no communication, none, no explanation, no nothing, just disappear.
Mm.
That's so childish to me.
Very.
And I just feel like, when it comes to that level of it, it's like, okay, like I said, different levels of it, I get. But if it's something where it's just strictly texting, we're just texting like on these dating apps or whatever. I don't know how that works right now, but
Mm.
something like that. If you just drop off the face of the earth in the middle of us trying to text and get to know each other, okay. But like I said, it's different when it's in the physical aspect where we've seen each other, we've hung out with each other, we've talked to each other, we talk on the phone every day, we text every day, we're doing things daily on a regular, and then all of a sudden, it snaps.
Yeah. The club ain't jumping like it used to.
Uh-uh. No, no, no. couldn't. I just right. See the terminology now that we're using. The terminology for today's world, today's kids that they're using.
Mm.
I could not deal because I'll be honest with you. I know me. If I was in that dating pool and that happened to me, oh, I'm crashing out. I'm sorry. I'm crashing out. Crash out moment. Because first of all, for me to respect you as a man, you have to present yourself as such.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't present yourself as a man, first of all, a man doesn't just fall off the face of the earth with no excuse, no this. Oh, I don't owe you an explanation. Sweetheart, depending on how deep we were in this situation, yeah, you owe me an explanation. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? What was it? Because if I'm not the type of person that you want to deal with, tell me that.
Let me know.
Let me know. Do not lead me on. Because one, I'm not a puppy. Don't lead me on.
Mm.
Two, you're playing with fire. And you guys, people see it all over the news. They see it all over all kinds of stuff. Be tripping
Well,
over their
bad.
feelings.
Crashing
Over
out.
their feelings. I know for a fact I'm a crash out, but I'm not. I'm an OG crash out. I'm not these new school crash outs. I'm about to go do all this. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
My crash out is I'm just gonna flip.
Straight
I'm
up,
gonna
but
have a flip
she,
out
she, she gonna
moment.
flip. She gonna
I'm gonna
flip. She,
flip.
she
I'm gonna
took it
flip.
back.
I'm not. I ain't going to jail. I'm not winning. Look, we ain't getting to jail. The law will not get involved with my crash out antics. They're not gonna get involved. I promise you. But you gonna know where I stand.
Mm.
Because I'm going to snap. I'm going to flip. I'm going to snap, crackle, and pop. Now, I ain't talking about neck problems and back problems or knees. I'm talking about snapping off, like,
Yeah.
and I'm snap, crackle, and popping. I'm not quit playing with me. I'm too grown. We too old to be playing these. Quit playing with me.
Too old.
If
So,
you don't want it, say it. If you
you
want it, mean what you say what you mean. Let's keep pushing. We too grown for the games. Let's go.
just gotta be real specific. So you mentioned earlier about rose-colored glasses.
Hmm.
Rose seeing things through, like we said about, which dates back to what we talked about with representation versus real. And then,
Yes.
when it comes to rose-colored glasses, like they said, the honeymoon phase. What is it? Everything seems to be going good, cool, fine, and dandy. Probably 2 months in, 3 months in. In some situations, that honeymoon phase wears off fast.
Because the representative has done his job.
Yeah, representative done his job. Representative, yeah, done a real good job.
What else does the representative need it for? Now you done invested, time spent, time
It,
you're
it, it
invested.
goes from it goes from oh, I'm here now, I can really be who I want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and that I think we're having such a great conversation here on the porch, but I really think
Mm,
that we're gonna have to definitely do a part two on this one
yeah.
because we gotta have to get our other co-host in on this one because I think she's gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah, she gonna love this one. She
I
gonna
think
love
that
this.
people are gonna love Miss
They
Charlie.
will. They will. It's been a while, Charlie, but they gonna love her. They gonna love her.
I know, like it has been a while, Charlie. Where you been at, Charlie? I'm
Where you
calling
at,
you out,
player?
Charlie.
We on the radio, player. Where is you at? Where is you at?
Yeah, but yeah, nah. That representative,
Mm,
y'all gotta be careful with this stuff. Like, just please be careful.
yeah,
'Cause
please.
mm. The last thing that you want to do is waste time dealing with somebody that you thought you know.
Yeah, that's oh boy. Yeah, yeah, because this time is one thing you can't get back.
Mm-mm.
And that's why, while we're here, we gotta be mindful about it. So
Yeah.
icks. What are your icks, Nikki Ray? Mistake Ray. What are your
Icks,
icks? Yeah.
feet.
Okay, feet. Okay.
I can't do feet. I can't do it.
Okay.
I can't do it. But the crazy part about it was when I had my kids, my parents was like, "Well, how is it that you don't like feet and you got kids, you got to touch their feet?" I said, "They're babies. They've
Yeah.
been walking on them. They ain't been walking. That's different than the
Yeah.
grown man that's been walking on it. Right? With the
Hey, look,
no,
that old big toe go to leaning in like that, and that's why he walking wide footed. And what is,
to
what
my
is
bunions. I don't know, but no. As far as icks go, that representative that people like to put in the forefront, that I can't
mm-hmm.
stand that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do not like And I don't know if I'm using it right. And like an ick is something that you don't like, right?
Yeah, something that kind of gets
Like
under
a
your
turn
skin.
off.
Yeah.
Like, can't do it. Um, I have to choose my words properly because I radio.
Okay.
Um, my biggest, well, there's a few of them, but one of my biggest issues when it comes to relationships or friendships or anything of those type of ships, dealing with men, I cannot stand, and it irks me so bad to deal with a man who has female tendencies.
I see what you mean. So,
Once I start getting a whiff of that, oh, oh, that's what I smell.
yeah.
Say less. Once I once I sense that on you, then I
Hmm.
treat you as such.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I just if you argue with women and you're a grown man, oh, let's argue. No, you want to argue? Let's argue then.
Man, what you do? That's one thing. I just
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna aggravate
yeah
you, and then I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing. I'm like, listen, I'm only doing it because you let me do it. Only because that's the kind of man you are,
yeah. I just
and
look at
I see
some.
it.
I
I
look
don't
at
have no
some.
respect. I do not respect the man that acts like that.
I look at some dudes like, man, why is you arguing with a woman for?
There's nothing better to do.
This is what
That's
this is
like,
what this is what they
oh,
do, bro. Don't. I should have said it, but this is their wheelhouse. You just
women
need to go on about
argue
your business.
differently than men argue. And my thing
Yes.
is this: as a grown man, if you cannot formulate your words to get your point across and articulate your words to get your point across without stooping down to a certain level of arguing, bickering with the female,
Yeah.
why are you doing that? And that makes me feel like, and that it goes a little bit further into, certain situations where if you'll argue with the female, what won't you do?
What
That's why
you
I said
won't
I can't
do?
respect. I don't have no respect for men in that category.
Mm.
You argue with women, you berate women, you go back and forth with women. You don't know how to control your temper with women. Like
So
you
so
literally
so
let a
someone that's
female get you out of your own. Like you literally let a female bring you out of character.
so someone is pretty much anti-woman.
Necessarily anti-woman, like they anti-strong women. I put it like that.
Okay,
Now
yeah, okay, I
I've come
got you.
across I've come across a lot of men like that. Like I've been called out of my name by men. I've been called, real out of got to the point one time I'll never forget this. There's this guy that was outside at my job one day and my son was there. He just got in I think he had just got done with practice or something. He was doing basketball tryouts or something.
Mm.
And he was already, Jordan was already having a day, but this guy comes up and he's just I don't know, he's talking reckless. And mind you, it was a group of us women outside. We were all
Mm.
just there. And the guy was just going back and forth. I mean, he's just doing the most, doing the most, doing the most. And he got to the point where he's getting real disrespectful. He's calling people out their names. He's calling them, being homophobic and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like,
Mm.
not only are you doing this in public, but you're a grown man
Yeah.
talking to women like this. My son, he now I'm telling you now, that one right there, TTG. Jordan, when it
Train to
comes
go.
into
He ain't
he
playing.
his thing is as a grown man, you're calling my mom out of her name, and you're a grown man. He's like, grown man, handle me. I said, Jordan, please, by any means, by if God loves us right now, that man will leave. I said, because when I tell you, it took everything in me to hold that grab that boy is strong. God, he is strong.
They ain't gonna
But
let
it took
nobody talk about his
everything in
mama
me.
like that.
And he wasn't about to go for it. He was like, Mom, he's a
Good for
grown
him.
man. Why is he out here talking to y'all like that?
Good for him.
And then he called you out your name. Like, you're a grown man. And that's why I said men, and this is just the way that I feel like, and it's not even got nothing to do with tradition, non-tradition.
Mm.
It got nothing to do with that. As a man, you lead, you protect. And I just can't see you leading me if you're arguing with me. How are you leading me?
The thing about arguments and relationships, they're gonna come and they're gonna come. There's no
Pause,
such thing as like
pause, and pause.
what?
Arguments, no. Disagreements, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
okay, that's what I
Disagreements are
meant.
gonna happen. You
That's
don't
what I meant
have
by
to
this.
agree
Yeah,
with me,
yeah.
but to
Just
argue back and forth like
mhm.
we're two women, you're bickering with me and you're
Yeah.
And I think I'm not even gonna sit here and blame it on the fact of you got a lot of men that's raised by women. That's not even in it. That's not good enough for me anymore. It's not a good enough excuse because
Yeah,
even
yeah,
with my
yeah.
son, I get on his top all the time. First of all, I tell him all the time, check your emotions at the door. And
Yeah.
I know not all women are like that with their boys, but when mine,
Mhm.
I'm like, check your emotions at the door, my guy.
Yeah. So,
What we're not doing is we're not, get out your emotions. Get out your emotions for a minute so you can think through what's going on. Go ahead.
yeah. A lot of times, yeah, like you said, it's more like disagreements. It's
Mm-hmm.
disagreements. It's disagreements, at least in debates, and sometimes in an argumentative type in interaction. But I fully get it. I
It
fully
happens.
understand it.
I agree. It does happen from time to time. I definitely get that. But
Yeah.
for a grown man, a single man, to be out in public arguing with women, what are you arguing for? I've had a grown man argue with me over my cigarettes.
Dude, just go ahead and tell. It's like this. Hey, everybody know what you are, but you. So with that being said, my ick, I can't stand no stink breath. I just can't
That was
stand.
expecting that.
I I, I,
Oh,
I can't stand no hot mouth, man. I can't stand no hot mouth. I can't do it. And another thing I really can't a bad ick is a bad attitude. You can be fine as frog hell,
mm, fine.
but if the attitude bad, nah, baby.
Mm-mm.
But look at me, look at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at how you act, and how you treat people. Like I look at
See,
how I look
that's
at.
another thing too, where what we were talking about, exactly what you're saying. That bad attitude, but you find it in frog hair. Because what they're used to is people looking at this. They're
Yeah,
not used to anybody getting past this.
I mean, fine is all out law. I mean, good and fine. I've seen them plenty like that before. As soon as they supposed to have an interaction with them or see how they treat people or how they look at people, like how they turn their nose up at people, I'm good. Good. I don't. Yeah, that's one of that's those are two of my main icks that'll have me be like,
Nah,
I'm not
I'm
about to
good.
mess with you. Yeah, I'm not about to do
I, you
this.
know, now that I'm thinking about it, I got a lot of little ticks, but I'm not gonna get into them because people are probably gonna be bashing me after that. But
Yeah.
it's like you are about
Hey, look,
breath.
look. They love leaving comments.
Yeah, you're right. And they can leave comments all they want to. They ain't gonna get. I'm gonna keep responding, but y'all don't never respond back. So I don't understand what we doing. Like I responded back
Hey,
anyway.
I got an idea. Let's just stay on. If they interacting in the comments, just make sure it's pertaining to the topic. And
I just want to know, like, hey, look, we can have a conversation. I don't
yeah,
mind. It's the porch. Let's bring it on the porch. But
yeah.
I think one of my other icks, like you said, about the breath. I I am one of those people, and I don't do it on purpose. I don't know why I do it, but
A smile.
oh my goodness, you know how many people that I've like literally. If you know your teeth are jacked up, please don't come talking to me because I'm not gonna say nothing, but can't I can't stop looking.
But you're gonna be like,
I'm all in your mouth. I'm all in your mouth. I'm like.
in your teethus.
I'm all in there. I'm all in there. And that's another thing. I think that's one of the things that I personally like. Don't get me wrong. Mine are not in the best of shape right now because I got wisdom teeth that are just aggravating the crap out of me right now.
Mm,
But aside from that, I always took pride of my teeth.
yeah, you got to. It's
Took
your
pride of
color
my teeth.
guard.
And it is.
Yeah.
I've had so many compliments from people like growing up. Oh my God, you got some pretty teeth. Oh my God, you used to wear braces? Like, no, I've never had braces in my life, but okay. But I've always gotten compliments on my teeth. So when it comes to people that approach me and want to talk to me, and uh, uh-uh,
Mm-mm.
girl, why your mouth look like a garbage disposal?
What's what's my name from what's my man name from Mortal Kombat? Baraka.
Rocka.
I was looking at that right
No,
there.
and I've had people that try to talk to me with yuck mouth, and I'm just like,
And look, they be the most confident. They be the most. You can't tell them nothing.
and
They be the most confident. I swear they do.
don't get me wrong. I understand if there's certain things that's happened that you can't help. I
Mm,
get that. But you
yeah,
can help your teeth.
yeah.
You can do
Well,
something about that.
put a meme out. You like you say, you gotta try. You really gotta try to do something. I understand that. Like
Mm-mm.
that's
It's people
those.
that you when I tell you, I'm talking about the plaque buildup on your teeth
Mhm.
falling out your mouth, teeth rotted out your.
God Almighty. You
All
gotta
right,
fix
It's
that,
so
just
bro.
terrible. Like I just don't understand it. Like it's bad enough y'all personalities be tripping,
Yeah,
but then you got the lockjaw to go with it.
yeah, yeah. Your breath smell like 90-day-old milk and Hassenpfeffer. I can't say the word I want to, but it's just bad. It's just real bad for business, and that's an ick that I can't deal with. That is a no deal. I don't think any of my icks
Can't
are.
deal with I can't deal with a know it all that don't know nothing.
Yeah. Oh my.
Can't tell you nothing. You don't want to listen to nothing, but you don't know nothing. You're always you loud and wrong.
Oh, let me.
Loud and wrong. Can't
Hold on.
deal
Let me.
that.
Hold on. Say that one again. I can't deal with anybody that don't know nothing. What
Oh,
you say?
oh, what did I just say? We're gonna have to rewind that. But I said something to the effect of I can't deal with people. I can't deal with a know-it-all that don't know nothing.
I've been doggone. That's it right there. I
I know-it-all
I
that don't
can't
know
deal with it.
nothing.
I can't deal with a know-it-all that don't know nothing. Make sure y'all quote that now and remember where you got it from. Remember where you got it
I,
from.
I just can't because my thing is this. Loud and wrong. Like I said, you're
Mm,
loud and wrong.
yeah.
And
And
there's
your
nothing worse
and your
than
breath
somebody that's
stink.
loud and wrong. Loud, wrong, and you got lockjaw. Come on now.
That's bad for
No.
business.
And it is, but it is what it is. My thing is, it is what it is. And as one of the things that used to be an ick for me when I was younger was a liar.
Oh my God, I can't do that shit. It's almost cuss,
I
but I can't
can't
do
deal
that.
with a liar. My
Mm,
biggest thing right now as I'm older is like, I understand, and I'm not justifying, I'm not making passes for liars. I'm not doing
mm.
it. But I would be lying to myself if I said I never told a lie.
We all would be. We all be like ourselves.
So I can't hold somebody else to a certain. I could hold them to a standard because my thing
Mm,
is I try to be as honest as possible. I try to have. I try to be morally
right.
right. I try.
More than right. You try.
I fall short from time to time, and I've gotten to the point. Even my parents would tell me, she's like, it's not that you lie about stuff, but I got to the point where instead of lying about it, I'm just not going to say anything.
Well,
I'd much
right.
rather not. I'm not going to incriminate myself. And my parents should be like, yeah, actually, well, that's one thing I can't say about her. She's not going to lie. She's just not going to tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you because I don't know if you're
Nah,
ready
she
for
just
it.
ain't going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Nah,
don't know if you.
I ain't
I
going to
don't
tell
know.
you.
No. Yeah.
Now,
Di-
if you ask me about it, I ain't
I'm
going
a
to lie.
day all day.
But you got to be very specific about what you're asking me because if you're not very specific, I'm going to answer you and based on what you ask me.
And that's what you're gonna get. Deal makers and deal breakers. Hmm.
We still going hard. Okay, let's see. Deal makers, deal
Deal
breakers.
makers and deal breakers.
Deal makers. Okay. At this point in my life, like I told you, I'm an overthinker and I do this a lot with everything. And I'm not expecting anybody to just reassure me all the time. Tell me, oh no, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. No, I don't want to hear that. Um, but the conversations
Mm,
and the communication helps a
mm,
lot. So I just say a deal maker is somebody that knows how to communicate for me. If you can communicate without yelling, screaming,
mm.
fussing, going belligerent, going berserk, like literally have a conversation
Yep.
and let like just it's just dialogue.
That's it.
If you're stepping out, you're going out for the night or whatever the case may be, just let me know. Hey, look, I don't want you to worry. I'm going out
Mm,
with such and such. Da 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 da. We're going out. Da 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 da. Cool.
yeah. I For me, communication is a deal maker or a deal breaker. Um, if the communication is good, if you know how to communicate effectively, if you know how to communicate, like you should as an adult, then that's cool. But if you have issues with that, I can't read your mind, and you need to work on that, or it's not going to happen. Another one is ambition. It's also a deal maker or a deal breaker. Like I tell people, I'm like Chad Ochocinco on Nightcap. I got 50, 11 jobs. Okay, I'm ambitious. I'm trying to work towards something. I'm trying to have things in my life. I'm trying to put myself in a position to make things happen. So that way I can be a blessing not only to, myself, but to everyone else too. I want to be a blessing. I want to be, want to be a blessing, not a burden. You think I say that at the end of the episode just because? No, that's what I want to be a
No, it's
blessing and
real
not a
talk.
burden. It's real talk. And so like if I'm out here, working one job, two jobs, three jobs, which I don't recommend anybody do, but like, but Miss
Sometimes
Nikki,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
but me and Nikki Ray, we talked off air about what kind of work I do and the levels of it, right? So I
Hmm.
got that going. So I got that going for me. Then on top of that, got these podcasts. Like I'm trying to build some things, trying to have an empire. Like I am ambitious. Ambitious is all outdoors. But if she ain't ambitious, I'm gonna be like, how can I have something with somebody that isn't as ambitious as me, or can at least meet me in the middle? Her ambition doesn't have to supersede mine, but at
But
least
it's gotta be something. You gotta have some.
you gotta have something. You gotta have something. So yeah, those are my two deal breakers. Ambition, and what was the other one? My brain fart. It was ambition.
He said ambition and communication.
Yes, ambition. I'm sorry, ambition and communication. Those are my deal breakers. The ultimate decision. Da da da.
That
The
part.
ultimate decision.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, communication's really big. Really big.
Yep.
Really big.
Open, honest, and transparent.
That's it. Because like I said, I'm like I feel like this. Out of for women, I think I'm so easy to get along with. Like I don't ask for a lot. I'm not. I have, like I said, I have standards. True, indeed, I have
Yeah.
standards. But when it comes to the empathetic side of me, like I'm super, super empathetic when it comes to
You are.
people. Like I
Mhm.
don't, I don't judge nobody for what they're going through, what they're. I won't judge you for your station in life.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through things in life. I get it. I'm
Hmm.
not here to judge. I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm not here to make you feel away. I'm not here to do this, that, and the other. But there's always a but with everything.
Hmm.
If you are able to communicate effectively and efficiently with me, it makes things a lot easier for me to deal with as well
Hmm.
as you to deal with because the communication is there.
Yeah.
I don't have to wonder. I don't have to worry. I don't have to think. I don't have to assume.
Hmm.
When it comes to, like you said, the ambition and all those, I love it. I'm here for all of that. Like ambition, drive,
Yeah.
somebody with goals, somebody
Hmm.
that wants, somebody that's like, I don't
Somebody
necessarily mean somebody that's
in,
gonna be out here,
in,
on the
in,
block,
in the words of
not,
my
not,
mama, somebody that trying to do something and make something of themselves.
that's it. And then somebody that also is supportive and
Yes.
has insights
Yes.
because with everything that I've got going on for me is, in comparison to you, it doesn't seem like a lot, but
Mm,
it's still a lot for me. And if I don't have, I don't expect, 150,000%
mm.
support. Oh, every time I do something, you're right there. I don't expect that. But I do expect if you're rocking with me, rock with me.
Check in from time to time. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Check in from
Hey,
time to
how's
time.
everything? Are you good? And you're like,
Yeah.
hey, what happened on such and such?
Yeah.
When it comes to even down to the radio show, like I've been sharing, and we doing our thing, sharing,
Mm,
posting, all this
mm,
good stuff, getting the word
mm,
out, everything.
mm.
Um, it's just one of those things where it's like I don't have a problem, you know, having anybody, okay, piggyback on this, or hey, I speak with you a lot of times, and hey, I got this person that I think would be great, to have conversation wise, topic wise, da, 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 da.
Mm.
Cool. I don't have a problem doing that. When it comes to people that I know, the more that the more we have to put out there, the more we will put out there. Like if you really think about it, how many friends you got on social media? A lot. I could say, I mean, I'm getting there, but it's getting there. But the whole thing is, and this is why I look at the whole bigger picture, right? The support. It don't take much to do that. It's not hard. I'm not asking somebody to sit down and Every time I post something, sit right there and wait for it. No, I don't dare ask you to do that, but I'm posting it so you can see it. When we have, when our radio show airs, check it out. I don't expect you to sit down for the whole hour to listen to the whole thing. But if you just so happen to listen to the whole thing for an hour, then hey, great.
Hmm.
But also, that support from the ones closest to us, I think, and is what I'm struggling with right now. The closer people are to me, the less they support, and that's the same thing that I see a lot of times when it comes to those dynamics.
Yeah.
But communication is key. I'm sorry, I just
I'm gonna tell you what somebody told me about that support. You just struck a nerve. I'm gonna tell you what somebody told me. You appeal more to people that haven't met you before because they don't know a lot about you. And then you present this product to them, they get a chance to learn what people close to you already know. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Out of the 4 podcasts, I know all my friends and everybody I'm associated with, they don't listen to all of them. If they listen to one, I'm fine. If they listen to 1 out of 4, I'm fine. 2 out of the 4, I'm fine. 3 out of the 4, I'm ecstatic. For all 4 of them, I am true to the moon. I am so happy about that. But I mean, people, and people are like, oh, you support them celebrities, but you don't support me. You have to
that's
tune
what I
into,
feel.
yeah, you have to zoom in and hone in on the ones that are rocking with you right now. Everything else gonna come. You have to hone in. You have to focus and be locked in with those that are supporting you in the now. In the now.
And if your support is quiet, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just know this much. And I hate to say it like this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Mm,
For the support that we have right here on the porch, that is quiet.
yeah.
When this thing goes where it's going, the celebration, I want your celebration needs to be quiet too. And when I say that, I mean we're gonna be partying, celebrating because we're gonna be up there doing that thing that we love to do so well.
Hmm.
And when we do that, the people that support us loud and clear are the people that will celebrate with us loud and clear.
Well,
That's all I'm saying. That's why I say if your support's quiet, the celebration is going to be quiet. If the support is loud, the celebration is going to be louder. And that's
that
all I'm saying.
because that quiet support might not necessarily be support, but I digress. We're gonna get to a
We'll
something.
get into that in the next topic. That's fine. The next show.
Yeah. Now it's time, Miss Nigga, ready for our favorite portion of the show, music and mayhem. We talk about the music and the mayhem behind it because sometimes both of them just go together.
So while we're on
Sex.
here, sorry, I want to change up the dynamics tonight.
Okay, what we doing?
All right. So I know we're talking about relationships,
Mm,
and this kind of ties into that.
mm,
Our relationship, with Black History had, being last month,
mm.
and we had International Women's Day this past weekend.
Mm.
I want to highlight something that is definitely music and mayhem.
Okay.
This month, I don't even know I don't think I saw a date on it, but from my understanding, this month, um, the Texas Board of Parole, Probation and Parole,
Mm.
are looking at a possible release date for Yolanda Salvador.
Yeah, that's the lady that killed Selena. Was she already out?
No, they're talking about possible release this month, 2025. And I can only, God knows, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one because, our era, we remember Selena.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember Selena. I remember being a little girl, like listening to Selena.
Mm.
And from that point to now, we're grown.
Maybe
We got
grown.
kids of our own, all kinds
Yeah,
of we got things going on. We're doing things. We're like
yeah,
adults, adults.
yeah.
And it's like she had made so many contributions to the Latina community. She's
Mm-hmm.
made a lot of contributions. She's made a lot of headway. She literally had just crossed over,
Mm-hmm.
and her life was cut short behind. Well, we was just talking about support,
Yeah.
and I think that has got to be like the biggest. I think that was one of the worst tragedies in the music community in the '90s. That was the
Mm-hmm.
biggest and the craziest tragedy. Like I don't. Oh my. Let's talk about it though. Let's talk about Selena Quintanilla. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry if
Selena.
I butchered it.
Yeah. Selena was a Tejano music star, man. She was
Yes.
well on her way.
Oh
She
my
was
goodness.
she was well on her way. Like you could see it. Like she's got that itch, she got that thing. And then Yolanda Salvador's like, hey, I'm gonna be a president of your fan club, and I'm gonna turn crazy, and I'm gonna kill you. And it's just
Embezzlement and
embezzlement. Yeah,
lying, and it was just it was a situation that definitely could have been avoided.
yeah,
And then I think she came up last year where she said she's going to tell the truth about what really happened and what was really going on. And I'm like,
yeah.
sweetheart, at the end of the day, probably what you want it. You paint it how you want to paint it.
You did it.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an accident.
No.
You
Yeah, you
did that.
done it. You done it. Yeah.
And you did that because you got caught.
Mm,
You got caught.
yeah.
And you want to keep hiding behind, oh, it was an accident. She was my friend. If she was your friend, you wouldn't have been stealing from her. Let's just be,
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there. I'm going to say that.
Mama said to him, and yeah, I don't steal from my friends. Never
No.
would I steal from my friends. No. I mean, and then also on top of that, Yolanda Salvador probably saw Selena as what they call a meal ticket.
It was. That was exactly what she is.
Yeah.
Selena was trusting. Selena trusted her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she put her trust in the wrong person.
Yeah.
And it
And that's
cost
not,
her that.
and that's another thing, man. You when it come to that, man, when it come to trust and deal with people, you have got to be more careful. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, cause you
Definitely got to be
want
careful.
cause you wind up in a doggone situation like Selena, man, and there ain't no
And that was just so sad. That was
and
so
then
sad. Like she had just gotten married, trying to, live her life. Like she had her whole life ahead of her.
yeah.
Like I said, she had just crossed over. I believe she won a Grammy and whatnot.
Yep.
And she made my favorite song. Oh, what is that song? I could fly.
Yeah, that one. That one.
Oh, I love that
That
song
that
so
was a
much.
hit, man.
I
Selena
remember
was
that song.
Selena was something special, and it's a damn shame when you deal with people you think they're close and then they really show you their true colors. And
That's
the thing,
the representative. Like I
the
said, it all
representative,
ties
yep.
to it. That
See it all.
representative.
It all. Yeah, you're right. It all ties to it, and it all ties into it. And also, you have to look at the whole. Okay, well, it's another thing where it's okay. Well, maybe I can piggyback her success onto my success, and it's kind of like
But ride
and
her coattails.
and ride a coattails, and hoping that she would catch one day where Selena's cheese slid off her omelet, and she got her. And this story is more. This is an isolated incident in the entertainment industry. This happens a lot.
A
This
lot.
matter of fact, cousins and kinfolks, when you get a chance, just look up Hollywood extortions, and you see they were a friend or a family member or a president or something, or someone they trusted. It's just you got to be careful.
Yeah.
You have to be
Be
very
very
careful.
careful. And it's like I said, it's more than just like I said, the conversation that we had today is more than just relationships. This is
Mm-hmm.
friendships. This is anybody that you meet. You gotta be aware of the signs. You gotta know what to look for, and you gotta
Mm-hmm.
pick and choose your people the right way. When
Yep.
it comes to, are you really hanging with them because you genuinely like that person, or are you just hanging with them because y'all got something in common?
Yeah. Like I say, are you down for me or you're not? That's how I look at it, man. You just gotta be mindful. You just gotta be mindful. You just gotta be careful. You have to be careful. Is this it for the music mayhem? Before I get up out of here, Miss Nikki Red, my condolences to the family of Dwayne Wiggins,
Mm,
of the group Tony Tony Tony. He had
yes.
a private battle with cancer, and Dwayne Wiggins was a real special person, man. He with that Tony with that group, man. I remember when he
Man,
took. I'm a, I remember when he took the lead on that one song, the whatever you want. I don't wish you no bad luck, baby. I'm like, oh, they done let Dwayne take lead on this, not Raphael. They let Dwayne take lead on this. And what make you think that I would try to run some
to run a
game on
game on
this?
you.
This sure as my name is
Your ain't no
Dwayne. I
way.
was like,
That's what he said.
yeah, it sure as my name is Dwayne. I was like, boy, he's serious with it.
Mayhem. I did not know that. It took me,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna tell you how many years to realize
yeah,
that's what he said. I did not know that.
yeah. He said, what make you think that I would try to run some
To run
game
a
on you?
game on you.
Just
Just
as
as
sure
sure
as
as
my
my
name
name is
is Dwayne.
Dwayne.
And I was like,
Wow! Yo,
okay, Dwayne, I hear you,
mine just
player.
blew my mind
Yeah,
quick,
and
man.
when I say like the sound of that song was it was doom 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 doo 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 doo
You
doo.
know what? I'm not even gonna get into it right now, but since we're on the topic,
Yeah,
yes, rest in power,
yeah.
Dwayne Higgins.
Dwayne Wiggins, yeah, he
Sorry, I said I keep
Wi-
saying Higgins.
Wig.
Dwayne Wiggins. It's
There we go.
because it's giving me a tongue twister.
Yeah,
Sorry. Rest in
just as
power,
sure
Dwayne
as his
Higgins.
name is Dwayne, like he said
It
in the
is
song.
Dwayne. I'm sorry. I thought that. Rest
It's
in
all
power,
good.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
But rest in power, Angie Stone.
Oh my gosh, she's from the
I
home
think
state of South Carolina
that was a big blow to the
to the
R and
music
B or
community.
soul community.
Yeah, I
It,
didn't know she was 63.
it doesn't surprise me.
Black don't crack, baby.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you why you're trying to be told.
yeah.
um, who else did we lose?
Roberta Flack.
Yes, that's what I was getting. It's Roberta Flack, the
Well,
legendary. Mm, mm, mm. I've been looking at a lot of these TikToks and all these other things, and a lot of these young kids do not know who these people are that's passing away. And I'm like, sucks to be you.
yeah.
Ah,
I'm telling you,
sucks to
man.
be you.
You know what I like doing? I like going on YouTube and going on a deep dive. Finding one thing that'll lead me to another, that'll lead me to another, that'll lead me to another, that'll lead
Oh,
me to
you like
updates.
rabbit holes.
I sure do. Music, yeah, I like finding different music. Like, okay, this is nice. Okay, I can dig this. I can dig that. Oh, I never knew this. Oh, I never knew that. Oh, I like that.
I'm gonna go on a limb too. While we're talking about different music and whatnot, I want to shout out two people real quick.
Mm,
I just came across some individuals, and I think I had sent you one of the guys, one of his IG.
mm,
Um, I'm trying to pull it up now because when I tell you his story, his music, his voice, his sound
mm.
is beautiful.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at the fact of, sorry, there's somebody else in my DM. I would love to know more about you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And when the merch drops, buy a hoodie.
There you go. All right. Sir Manzi.
Okay.
I am going to be doing my due diligence within the next couple of weeks and see if I can get him to come on a show so we can listen, you know, do a listen. But if you do not know Sir Manzi, check him out on Instagram. Listen to him. Let us know what you think. Another individual that I just recently had the pleasure of following me on Facebook, and I felt so special, even though it kind of showed me how I'm aging a little bit. But what is his name? Anthony Q, the singer.
Hmm.
It's like I don't even like to call it country anymore.
Yeah.
I want to call it Southern Soul.
Okay. So, okay. Okay. I see what you're okay.
That one right there, that man got a voice from heaven.
Okay.
And I think what happened, I don't even know how I ended up sharing his stuff, but I shared his video.
Mm.
And next thing I know, I'm looking on my notifications and it's like, hey, he's following me. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank y'all for the likes and the follows, but I also do want you guys to kind of get also engaged with the Porch Perspectives Facebook account as well as the
Yeah.
Instagram account. Like following us personally, cool, fine, and dandy. Just do me a favor, please stay out of my DMs. If I don't know you like that, stay out of my DM.
And
Like,
if you and
cool.
if you, and if you is in her DMs, hey, subscribe. When we drop merchandise, buy a hoodie. Share our stuff on Instagram. Share our stuff on Facebook. Listen, so I'm gonna tell you about Miss Nicki Red, right?
Oh, Lord, here we go. Go ahead.
As I'm looking at my cell phone right now, I've gotten 4 notifications from the Porch PursePectives podcast YouTube channel. Miss Nicki Red, she dropped these reels and she dropped these shorts. Makes me want to step my game up with
I'm
everything
just
else
saying.
I got going on. I'm like, man, I'm over tripping. I'm over slacking. You know, like they say, iron sharpens iron. And I want y'all to always remember that. So, yes, please follow. Look, we got something special going on over here. Get right. Yeah. Get right. Come on now. Come on. Like my brother Eric said, get right now. Come on and get right. Come on and get right.
Get right, or you gonna get left.
Get left. You don't get left. All right, Miss Nikki Red, anything you want to add before we get up out of here? Get up on
I'm
this
trying to think
porch.
any shout outs, anything that I'm missing. So I have been going around
Okay.
town as far as these
Mm-hmm.
sponsorship opportunities, endorsement opportunities, even advertising opportunities. If you would love to utilize Porch Perspectives and our platforms to assist with your brand, your company, um, product, anything of that nature, please, by all means, um, contact us by either social media or best practice is going to be email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just let us know if you guys if anyone out there in the listening world, if you'd like to work with Porch Perspectives as far as, like I said, sponsorship, advertisement, endorsement opportunities, any of those opportunities, or just work with us on a business level,
Mm-hmm.
by all means, please do not be afraid to reach out to us. We do respond back.
Yep.
And we can be reached at porchperspectives@gmail.com. And that email address for you, if you can't spell it, which I understand if you can't, it is PORCHPURSEPECTIVES gmail.com.
Porch perspectives, right there, just like that.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us from day one. Keep rocking with us.
Yes.
This platform is fun. Something the other day, somebody said, "Hey, I need some podcast recommendations." I got 4, but I know it's 2 out of 4 that you're probably gonna like because don't everybody like sports? Don't everybody like wrestling? People are into mental health, and people are into. Someone told me, I said, "How would I best describe our podcast?" She said, "It's a lifestyle podcast," and I was like, "You're right." Now, so this is your favorite lifestyle podcast, the Porch
Is
Perspective
that what we do?
podcast. Now,
Oh,
lifestyle. We talk about life and the different
right.
styles of life, and not particularly clothes and everything, but we just I
We
like to
gotta get
call
into
it.
fashion one day. I swear. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I'm really not opposed. I love, I love talking.
Mm,
And I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I love, the interesting, like, it's so many different and interesting people out there. Like I said, if you want an opportunity on the porch with us, by all means, just let us know. We are not opposed to it. Yeah, we're gonna definitely can check you out and make sure that you vibing with us on the porch.
yeah,
Because I
make
don't
sure
want no
you're good.
dead energy. We don't need none of that. Yeah, you can't sit on the porch and not say nothing.
Yeah, you out
Or
here
sit on the
chilling.
porch and be like, oh, we don't want to hear that. Come on, you got that liven up. Bring the energy. Time up. Turn it up. Let's go. Let's get with it.
Oh, before we get up out of here, Miss Nikki Red, I think I got somebody. I think I got somebody. I think I got
Yeah,
somebody.
you
I
got a
kind
few bodies.
I kind of sort of got confirmation
Suspicious.
today. They said yes, and so
Hmm.
we gonna see what's going on. So with that being said, and in closing, do
Hold on
something.
before you close.
What? Oops, my bad. I ain't
Sorry.
ask you like that.
I also think that we are probably going to be revisiting some of our prior guests
Mm-hmm.
before we got the radio side of things. So we're probably gonna, I'm thinking about doing that because there's few people that I want to bring back on the porch and a few people that's been asking to come back on the porch. So
We're
Oh,
gonna
wow.
bring him back on. We're gonna bring him back on. Hey, look,
I'm just saying. I'm just the messenger, man.
it's good when we get the cousins and kin folks who to come back and kick it with us on the virtual porch. One day,
Yep.
Miss Nicki Red, we're
Okay.
gonna be on a one day, Miss Nicki Red, we're gonna be in an actual screened-in porch because it's always. I think it's cool to record a podcast in the summertime in the
Oh,
South, but the
I
problem
can't
is,
wait. Mosquitoes.
yeah, them mosquitoes, them mosquitoes. So I mean, who knows, man? If any, just we'll figure something out. If anybody want to loan a porch for, nah, I'm just joking. But
I mean,
anyway,
I ain't. You want to loan a porch, a building,
yeah. So
something.
we'll figure something out. All right. And then closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. If you can, be a blessing, not a burden. This is your favorite podcast, none other than the Porch Perspectives Podcast. And hey, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the porch.